My name is Sarah Parham. I just want to say welcome, Kabu. Thank you to the Royal Majesties, Royal Highnesses and distinguished guests. It's an absolute honour to be standing here talking at Africa Fashion Week London. I just want to share a little bit about myself. I grew up in Nigeria, Lagos, and it was truly the best part of my childhood. So to be stood here is such an honour for me and also quite emotional. I'm the proud owner of an award-winning jewellery brand, and I also own a dynamic business consultancy. I empower founders to propel their businesses, to help them troubleshoot, to give them the acumen and enable individuals to actualise their aspirations and potential. And I work with a diverse range of people across various businesses and their stages, from anywhere from ideation to startups and also established enterprises. The objective of this panel discussion is to equip some of you with the knowledge to supercharge your business in the UK market. And I'm going to be leading the panel's discussions today. But first and foremost, let me introduce our exceptional panel lineup who have graciously dedicated their time to be here. So first up, we've got Winnie. Winnie has a successful track record spanning over 10 years in startups and e-commerce. She founded LVS Hub. It's a live video shopping channel that any brand can implement into their websites. She has marketing agency experiences, and she helps e-commerce brands and retailers launch live stream video onto their own platforms. Before that, she worked at TikTok and Farfetch, so she has an absolute wealth of knowledge, and she understands the future of marketing, how to build communities, and how to engage with people, and how to get people engaged with your brand. And then we've got Elemenchi. Elemenchi is International Trade Advisor at the UK Department for Business and Trade. She has extensive experience in business coaching, partnership cultivation, and supporting SMEs. She's managed over 50 businesses, strengthening trade relations, and led economic development projects in West Africa, including Nigeria, with a contract value exceeding 7 million. She is passionate about advancing cross-cultural business initiatives and driving sustainable growth. And then we've got Lucy. Lucy is the Global Digital Commerce and Marketplace Lead at the Department for Business and Trade. She focuses on digital beauty and has a background in senior leadership roles at UK brands and leads strategic partnerships for the DIT. In February 2024, just earlier this year, Lucy led a UK fashion and beauty delegation to Nigeria. And then we've got Shalom Lloyd, MBE. Shalom is an award-winning senior business professional with over 28 years of experience in the pharma industry. She's the founder of Naturally Tiwa Skinwear, a natural skinwear company empowering African women. Shalom also serves as a co-founder at EMQT and is the business development and sales director at JE Oils, Nigeria. Shalom is a mother of 5, serves as a non-exec director at the Milton Keynes and Northamptonshire Chamber of Commerce and as the governor at the Milton Keynes College. She's also a TEDx speaker, World Trade Freeman, honorary professor at the University of Buckingham, Department of Business and Trade export champion, and a mentor that believes anything is possible. She was awarded an MBE for her service for international trade and women in business in the King's New Year's Honours in 2024. So without further ado, let's get on to some questions. I'm going to start with Winnie, who specialises in e-commerce. And Winnie, what are your top tips for growing an online customer community in the UK?
Thank you, Sarah, and nice to meet you, everyone. My top tip number 1 would be to get on social media. So if you aren't using social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, definitely get started on them because it's an easy way to build brand awareness, drive more traffic to your brand, and as well as that, start to grow your customer base. Secondly, be authentic. So by using social media platforms as well as your own website, be authentic in the content that you create. Use it as a way to educate customers about your business, your products, how they can, make utilize of your products and how to make the most of it. Thirdly will be to test different content methods. So don't limit yourself to one particular, content creation, whether it's videos, photos, text, newsletters. Really experiment and try different things and see what resonates the best and drives the best results for your audience.
Thank you, Winnie. Next up, Shalom. When you decided to set up your company and trade with Africa, what did you find the key challenges were, and how did you overcome them?
I'm African, so it was really second nature for me, because by 2050, Africa will represent a third of the world's population. So for me, that was a no-brainer to start business in Africa. This is a question I get asked a lot. People, when you talk about Africa, people go straight for what were the challenges. I tend to see these things as opportunities. The challenges we talk about all the time, you've got infrastructure, the usual stuff. But I tend to look at it from a different point of view. What I really wanted to do was, is there a problem? What is the solution? And who do we need to bring in? You don't have to have the expertise yourself. Who do we need to be able to solve those problems? And part of that for me has been working with this wonderful lady, the Department of Business and Trade. I have no shame. I will beg. I will go and ask if I need something. The fact is that we have amazing resources in Africa. There's two things I detest. I detest Africa and aid in the same sentence, and I detest Africa and challenges in the same sentence.
Thank you. Thanks, Shalom. That's brilliant. And Lucy and Elementary, either one of you, what are your top tips for an African brand wanting to launch in the UK?
Thank you, Sarah. I think for an African brand wanting to launch in the UK, obviously I'm going to champion digital platforms. There are a number of digital platforms that champion African brands. If you look for a Kojo Market, So Just Shop, Amazon have just launched in South Africa, so I think that's a great place to start as well, because you've got 20 marketplaces. If you go onto Amazon, you can quickly scale up across their 20 marketplaces. So I would start with your website, with the social shopping that my fellow panelists mentioned, which is an easy way to launch your brand and immediately reach consumers, and also start looking at those other platforms. And we're surrounded here by physical market stores as well, and I think that's another great opportunity for brands coming into the UK. There are loads of markets and pop-ups, so a combination of all these factors, the digital and the physical, will mean that you reach your customers immediately.
Thank you, Lucy. And back to you, Winnie. What are the key challenges for a brand launching in the UK from a marketing perspective? So if you're maybe established in another country, but you're wanting to set up in the UK, how do you start building a meaningful community that's actually going to shop with you, that's sanity, not vanity?
So I think the biggest challenge is probably marketing costs, so managing budgets. So to answer the question, I would say start affordably as possible, which would be converting your existing customers. So the customers that have purchased from you, how do you get them to make a repeat purchase? How do you get them to perhaps sign up to your newsletter, follow you on social media, and spread word of mouth? So whether that's creating a referral program, an incentive for them to basically shop more with you, start with the customers who are already engaging with your brand and use that to grow new customers. That would be the most affordable way to do so.
Thank you, Winnie. Lucy and Elementary, what help is available for our international businesses and trade governing body? Can you explain a little bit about what's available and how does it work?
Yes, so I am with the Department for Business and Trade, and there is an array of support that is available to companies that are wanting to do business with us. That's the whole idea. So we have different sectors within the department. We have a department that's called the International Trade Center, and that is a team that will support with logistical queries and any information that is required to do business in the UK. They do typically support with UK companies that are exporting outside, but on certain occasions there are information that they can provide to companies that are wanting to do business with us.
Thank you, Elementary.
Could I just add as well?
Yeah, go for it.
If you register your company in the UK, just visit great.gov.uk and you can access vast amounts of training with our Export Academy. It's all free and it's available. So just visit great.gov.uk and you can access free training, webinars, UK export finance, and a vast amount of free resources for you and your business.
Thank you, Lucy. That's really valuable, a really valuable insight. Shalom, you've achieved so much. You've built your brand, Naturally Tour Skinwear, from scratch that imports into the UK. When you had that initial idea to getting established where the business was running, you were able to take a wage, and it felt more on a kind of secure footing rather than like an initial startup that's always a bit, How long did that take?
So I've been running Naturally Tour Skincare for about 6 years now, and we're also proud Department of Business and Trade Export Champions. It took 6 years to get there, and we're not there yet. We're still building, we're still going there. It's a very unique way of thinking and different way of thinking. I'm a pharmacist by qualification and worked in drug development for the past 28 years. So medicines and bringing drugs to patients is really important to me. So the skincare company that I founded was really focused on skin conditions and for people undergoing cancer treatment, chemotherapy, radiotherapy. Now, the important thing is that my two worlds collided in the sense that I remortgaged my home here in the UK and we built 2 factories in Nigeria where our ingredients are sourced and then brought into the UK. We manufacture, formulate, and package here. So it's that supply chain that is sort of full circle, and we're able to export, with your help, obviously, to different parts of the world.
Thank you. Winnie, you set up a live shopping TV channel last year to help brands in a new way of marketing. Can you just explain a little bit more about how live shopping works and why it's going to be the next thing in marketing?
Thank you, Sarah. So live stream shopping is a really great way to engage your customers. So a lot of it is based off of entertainment, so being able to educate educate viewers on your product value, how they can use it, and just kind of, at the moment, the e-commerce experience is a bit static. You know, you go on a website, you scroll, you're not too sure what the product looks like, you're not too sure how it fits, you're having to look at several websites before making a decision, and it can be a little bit competitive, and for businesses it tends to leave abandoned baskets. So what live video shopping does, it kind of flips that on its head and it makes it come to real life. So whether you have a presenter that's product demonstrating or showcasing or talking about the unique selling points, it's actually encouraging the customer to understand what they're looking at and how they can get involved. So live stream shopping isn't new. I'm sure some of us here are familiar with QVC, which has been around for over 30 years, but it is being revolutionized by digital and social, because that's where people are now, that's where people are shopping. So my agency really focuses on how we can utilize the internet, where most people are purchasing, and working with e-commerce brands to kind of move them on to online live experiences.
Thank you, Winnie.
Can I just add really quickly to that?
Yeah.
Because it was live TV shopping that sort of made our company in 2018, I used to go live on TJC, a shopping channel in the UK. So we should talk. It'd be nice to kind of talk to you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I set up a live TV shopping channel with Winnie, and it was really interesting to see the results. At the end of the day, you've got all this social media, but you as a brand don't own those social media platforms. So it's a bit like that's the pub, and you want people to come to the party, which is your website, because that's what you own. So the more people that you can drive to your website through the platforms, the better it's going to be for your brand, rather than just hanging out and doing a bit of live shopping on Instagram. And also, I think one thing that I think is so valuable with the live shopping is that you can pin your products. So it makes it very easy for purchase. People can just click on it and then purchase. So it's it makes it seamless. And I do think live TV is the way forward from a marketing perspective. So we're coming to the last sort of couple of questions, because I know that you're all really hungry. How did you manage to set up reliable, trustworthy supply chains in your business, Shalom? Did you just create them yourself, or?
Yes, I created them myself, really. I'm a bit of a control freak, and I wanted to sort of control the end-to-end sort of value chain. And that was really, really important to me, and to start small and to perfect that chain. Yeah. So like I mentioned, we have our facilities back in Nigeria, and we kind of get our goods from the farms straight back into the UK, and those goods are manufactured here and then go to our distributors or wherever else. So yeah. It is possible. Like I mentioned, people always talk about challenges, and I always think, if a tiny business like mine could do it, I think anybody can, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with my jewelry brand, instead of all my artisans are in Jaipur, so the way that I set up was I went out to Jaipur and I lived there and got to know the artisans and worked side by side. That built up immediate trust. And I think trust is everything in business.
Can I just add, I mean, one of the things I'll say to people here, the Department of Business and Trade in the UK has helped my business grow significantly, just by tapping into resource. I mean, these two ladies here, sorry to say this, but their job is to see businesses succeed. And it's for free. So please tap into DBT.
Thank you. Thank you, Shalom.
We're not paying her.
And then just a quick final question, going back to Lucy and Elementary. Can you just tell us a little bit what brands need to consider? What are the key things that they need to consider when they want to launch into the UK? Things like freight and duties, lines of trust, and anything else.
There's a lot. There's an array, and there's so many things to list. And we'll both be around, I think, for a while after this panel discussion. So if anyone wanted to have more in-depth conversations. But the first thing that really comes to mind for me is understanding what your consumer demographic looks like, and doing that customer research, understanding who your market base looks like and what the easiest entry point is for you as a small brand. And as part of that, doing competitor analysis, understanding who you're competing against, what makes them unique, and then in the opposite side, what makes you unique, what you bring to the table as well. I think you can never invest too much in that research, because I think we see far too often a lot of businesses diving headfirst into a new market, and a market like the UK as well. It's so different across the regions. I think we just see the UK as one big block, but actually when you go north, south, the appetite for your product will be different. And so I think that really is the first thing, and then you kind of delve into the logistics and the kind of nuts and bolts of it. But we always push research first and foremost.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'd just like to say thank you to our panel. Please give them a lovely round of applause. And thank you to all of you. Thank you.